Akshara Foundation, which funds the KLP, that is the Karnataka Learning Partnership, has come out with the education profile of Bangalore, particularly government primary schools and Anganwadi centers. What does the report card say? Rather, what are its key findings?
Okay, so the Bangalore report card was essentially a compilation of all our work over 2-3 years, and it was only for government primary schools. There was no private schools. Okay, so it's in that sense it's only a public system report card. So we broke it down into 3 segments. Just like you break your shows into segments, we broke it down, but without a commercial break there, right? So the first segment was a household analysis. So we actually visited 45,000 plus households of children who go into those schools to see and ask them and find out what is the average household look like, what do they think of schools, do they think of education, what do they think of education. So when I told you that 72% of the parents felt that the library program made a difference to their child, it came out of that portion of the report. Many people, many parents have a handicap because they can't test their own children in reading proficiencies because they themselves
are not, yes.
Not literate, right? So sometimes they feel that the school is fine, and it's natural to believe so because children get uniform, books, shoes, get a hot midday meal and all that stuff. So it's natural to believe. It's only when you start to test them in their homes, and there's a very good survey that's done called Annual Status of Education Report, ASAR, which is the most widely quoted thing. We are the Karnataka partner of that, and we do this all over the state. And then parents realize that what they believed was not really correct, right? So that it goes to the household profiles is the first section. The second section is looking at children between the ages of 3 and 6. The state runs a program called ICDS, Integrated Child Development Services Scheme, and this program children have to get preschool education, and it's very important that children get their mind stimulated at that age, right? Which is why you would have read books to your child at home when he or she was small, right? And which is why you would have bought toys that will help them develop their motor skills. You would have bought jigsaw puzzles to build their, their skills in different domains, right? This is why because between the ages of 0 and 6 is neuroscience tells you that that's the maximum absorption time. If you haven't utilized that time, then after the age of 6 it goes on. So it's very important. So we actually check with children for multiple skills, and that's reported pre and post, right? Meaning before we start the program and end the program, looking at motor skills, looking at cognitive skills, looking at social and emotional skills, because they have to be ready for school. In school, you sit in a classroom, you sit in in a straight line, in a bench, and
So prepare them.
Prepare them. It's a program that we call prepare, not repair.
Okay, fine.
Right. So the second section is all about that, and there's a lot of detail on it. The third is the section on primary schools, and that covers infrastructure issues, reading skills, math skills, and a little bit of our early English program that we had started. But no matter how you cut it, roughly you would think that 45% or 40% of children in the city, in the state, and it might vary by 4-5 points either way, are unable to read, and the numbers for math are even scarier.
Mathematics.
So, Lots of people are scared about mathematics, and you know, that's something seriously need to be done about it. Having said that, the good news is that the minute you put exciting tools in front of children, even with a subject that people hate like mathematics, there's a big change. The good news is that everyone's teachers, children are all asking us, can you help us spoken English? Because they see that as the ticket out of poverty.
That's true.
Right? So, I think there's good and bad. I mean, we have to understand what is good and capitalize on it.
Naturally.
Right?
We can't, we can't be rigid on this.
Exactly. And that won't happen unless all of us come out and champion it. Right?
So these are the three groups you have.
These are three groups that we have created. Yeah.
Ashok, do you agree with the report, your own report, that mass literacy is better achieved when mother tongue is used as the medium of education? Because when you talk of English, this I saw in your report, saying that mass literacy can be eradicated if mother tongue is used as the medium of instruction.
Okay, this is a very hard question to answer. Sometimes you get into debates and fights about this, right? If you are speaking in your mother tongue at home, you associate words in your mother tongue. So, in the very early years, the argument goes that it is useful to teach in your mother tongue. But also remember, at that early ages, children are able to grab more, right? And it's, let's say in more affluent families, it's quite likely that a Bengali speaking child is living in Bangalore, speaks Bengali at home, but plays with children and learns Kannada on the ground, right? And they are able to master, and then also learns English in the school. So 2-3 languages are possible. So, so it's really, you could do it either way. I mean, but I think English as a language of necessity is clearly there.
It is a language of communication of the world.
World, whatever, but you talk to the poorest parent, they want it. Right? You go to villages in the state, they want it.
So you don't